Okay, it is June, you guys. It is June. Can you believe it? I cannot. And I am here tonight with Suzanne, and I am just so excited to have her share with us. Um, so, Suzanne and I have been connected for, I think, maybe 5 years now.
Wow,
Um,
that's fast.
I know. We got connected during the pandemic, and everything was virtual for sure before everything kind of, blossomed back into person. So Susanna has been my personal mentor and business coach with Mary Kay. Kind of keeping me in shape over the last 5 years and keeping me on track. And I just love our conversations because it helps me always have clarity to know where to go. As business women, we have so many ideas and so many things swirling in our head, and sometimes we just don't know what is the next best step. And so Suzanne is here tonight to help us do that for June, especially, and beyond, right? Because what we do in June kicks us off for the rest of the year. And so I'm just going to share with you guys, first of all, a little bit about Suzanne. I have her accolades here, and I think it's just amazing to hear her experience, her knowledge, her passion. So Suzanne joined Mary Kay Cosmetics in January of 1978, the day that Mary Kay opened in Canada. So I don't think I said that. Suzanne is in Ontario, Canada. Considered a Mary Kay pioneer as a result of being the first consultant and the first director in London, Ontario in 1979. Suzanne built the foundation of her business in London, Ontario. However, her Mary Kay organization spanned a number of provinces across Canada. As a director, she earned her first pink Cadillac in June of 1980, and she earned 15 total career cars in her career, nine of which were the pink Cadillacs. And she is now driving her final Mary Kay gift, which is an NSD pink Cadillac Escalade. So that is awesome. And in honor of her in 1985, her fellow directors in Mary Kay Canada voted her Miss Go Give Canada. This award represents a director's ability to work with the golden rule and represent the Mary Kay image. Suzanne believed in the adoptee system and developed directors for her fellow directors as well. And I can attest to that go give spirit of Suzanne's for sure. She has been a member of the $500,000 Club in Mary Kay twice in her career and a member of the Circle of Achievement 16 times. The Circle of Achievement is when your unit does over $650,000 in retail production. As a national area, they reached the Diamond Circle level. She reached the top rung in Mary Kay, the position of National Sales Director, which was achieved on October 1st, 2006, and her retirement was January 1st of 2012. She has earned many diamonds as well, along with her husband, and they enjoyed lots of trips over the years. Listen to this list, you guys, of some of these places. Hong Kong, Tahiti, Australia, British Isles cruise, Milan, Rome, Hawaii, a cruise to the Greek Isles. Suzanne is a member of Mary Kay's $1 Million Club, having earned over $1.6 million in commissions, and that's in addition to all of her sales. So that's awesome. That is like wow, right? So get your pens ready, you girls, and because she's going to give us lots of nuggets tonight. Suzanne was married to Brian for over 50 years, and she's got two children, Erin, who is an artistic director, and her daughter, Karina, who is actually a top sales director in Canada as well. And they have three beautiful granddaughters. So let's give it up for Suzanne, who is going to kick off June for us.
Okay. Well, hi everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I want to thank Julie very much for bringing me here to be with her awesome unit. Julie's shared with me all of your accolades and everything that you are working hard to do and
I
achieve.
just saw the Red Robin coming.
Oops, hello? What's happened? Can you all hear me? You can hear me.
Yes, yes, we're
Okay,
good.
okay,
We're good.
okay. I'm sorry. I got distracted by a pop-up. Okay. All right. So, one of the benefits of this Mary Kay opportunity is the ability to touch other women's lives and to reach out to them and to help them make their dreams a reality. Before Mary Kay died, she had written a note to one of her uh, one of the sales promotion people who was closest to her, been with her for a number of years, and she sent him a note and it talked about dreaming. And she said that she felt her leaders were not talking enough to their consultants about having their dreams come true and to set a goal for a dream and make it a reality because Mary Kay created this company so women could have their dreams come true. Yes, it's supposed to pay the bills and do all of that, but this is the and then some career if you want it to be the and then some career. So she started the company with 10 of her very best friends. And out of those 10 came many directors. But out of those directors came a few national sales directors. And it was that group of women, along with Mary Kay herself, where I got my training. And so I consider myself really very fortunate because I got this pure training from Mary Kay, and she had passed it to these women who trained just like her. They didn't mess around. Of course, they had their own personalities added to it, but I felt like I was trained by the best, and I was able to bring that home to Canada with me, where no one had ever heard of Mary Kay. No one had ever heard of it. Not in my town. It was Mary who, Mary what, you know? So you really had to break ground here. So Mary Kay herself felt that women innately were leaders. And she felt that, were leaders at home. They led their families. They were hardworking. And if they could just get beyond their self-doubt and their fear and put that behind them and look to the greatness within them, then they could make any dream come true with Mary Kay Cosmetics, because that's what her marketing plan was all about. It's how it was structured. So the women who influenced me, along with Mary Kay herself, were countless. I mean, there was, of course, my recruiter, Sonia Gregian, and she became a national, but she retired earlier than my senior national, who was Ann Newbury. So I stepped back into the Ann Newbury's area, and it was Ann Newbury who was influential in my becoming a national sales director. So, and you have to understand the NSD structure just a little bit. I was about to turn 60. And at that point, you had to become a national by time you were 60. Okay. And so I was questioning whether I was going to do that because it meant retirement in 5 years at 65. And I really loved what I was doing. So it was a big decision. But Ann Newbury looked me in the eye and said, "You have been doing the work of a national for so long. You deserve to be paid as a national and go on those national trips and all of that." So she convinced me, and I'm glad she did. I really am. So I still get to touch lives with my coaching, and I still get to touch lives through my Mary Kay Friends in Canada because I attend everything. So you can't get rid of me anyway. But anything can happen if you know your why. And I think this is something we need to talk about today and get in touch with. I was at every leadership conference, every seminar. I sat in the audience seats and I learned from these women. I was a sponge. I was a consummate student, and I still am. I feel I continue to learn and I continue to grow. And I think you have to look at yourself that way. All right. There are so many untapped powers within you that you already have. You're unique. You're not like anyone else in Mary Kay. So you bring something fresh and unique to this opportunity that other people will relate to. May not relate with Julie, may not relate with me, but could relate with you. So my why was we had moved from Hamilton, Ontario. My husband had graduated from university. His first job was at the University of Western Ontario in London. And so that moved us here. And I went from knowing so many people in my city to knowing no one. And I had a couple of jobs while I was in London. Still, when you're working for other jobs, you are not usually hanging around with people that you would select to hang around with. I was made friends with most people, but still, it's different than Mary Kay, where you get to select who you want to hang with, you know. So I got pregnant and I had my son. And so he was 2.5 years old when Mary Kay came into my life. So um, I, at that point, was wanting to still be home with my child, but I was getting a little bored with playing Legos, you know? I really felt I had wanted to do something a little extra along with being home and taking care of my child. So that's where I was at. So 1972 is when we moved to London. And I had Aaron in 1975. And 1977, I was at an Armenian picnic back in my hometown. And Sonia Gregian, who was a fellow Armenian, had moved to Buffalo, New York, because she knew Canada was going to open. And she was a Mary Kay director in the United States. She came to this picnic, but she did not talk to me about the Mary Kay opportunity. Her husband did. Her husband was handing me pamphlets and all of this. And I didn't find out till years later that the reason Sonia didn't ask me was because she had asked every ding-dang Armenian she knew, and they all turned her down, and she wasn't going to ask one more ding-dang Armenian. So the best thing Berge ever did for her was to recruit me, because her whole Canadian organization sprang from me. So that was quite interesting and kind of funny. And I used to be a little cheeky with her about it. But so the company, actually, she came down December of 1977 on Boxing Day and gave me my first facial, because I told her I can't sell a product I haven't tried. So she came and I signed, but I could not start until January 1st, when the company officially opened. So my agreement says January 1st, 1978. So I'm just going to tell you that if you think that you have to have a great education, or that you have to look a certain way in order to be a leader in this company, you would be wrong. I had a high school education. I was an artist as well. Um, and the women who trained me, who were top in Mary Kay, none of them had university educations. None of them. And but they were skilled people persons. They were skilled people persons, and they knew how to help and be generous and guide and mentor. And so, and they were the best trainers. So one of my influencers was NSD Nancy Tejan. Nancy Tejan was like 5 foot little blonde with a twinkle in her eye and so much energy. And her background was that she worked the graveyard shift in a factory stuffing shotgun shells. Her very first Mary Kay party had 5 women. All 5 of those women became national sales directors. All of them signed up with her. All of them became directors with her. And all of them became national sales directors in Mary Kay. Yeah. You do not know who is at your skincare class. You do not know. You know what I'm saying? So, um, she was always a powerhouse, down to earth person to listen to. If I'd not been at seminars and leaderships, I would not have heard Nancy teach it. Another woman who influenced me, who is not in my line, was Ruel Cohen. Ruel Cohen came, her grandmother was a slave. She was related to Martin Luther King. And when she stood on the stage and spoke, she spoke like Martin Luther King. She was so, empowering to listen to. If you've heard Gloria Mayfield Banks, a lot like that, but in a different way, you know. Um, the thing that impacted me was her retirement because she had been a single parent raising three boys. And when she retired, she introduced those three boys on stage, and every single one of them was a medical doctor. And she had paid for three boys' medical educations through her Mary Kay opportunity as a single parent. So I'm telling you that these kinds of stories are what influenced me and made me say, wow, you know, she can do it. I can do it. Um, both women retired as multimillionaires as well. So when I joined, I actually only saw this opportunity as a vehicle to meet people in my city. I did not think about being a national sales director. I didn't think about being a director. You know, I had my own fears. Um, I had to get the eagle outside of me. And I'm going to ask you, are you a sparrow who has an eagle inside? And I think you do. And I want to see you have your journey where your eagle gets freed to fly. So you first of all have to get in touch with the dream. And let's face it, when we were little girls, we had dreams. And then we got married or whatever, and we had disappointments in life, and we put the little dreams up in the attic, and they became cobwebbed and got dusty, and we forgot about them because we're paying the bills and we're doing all of these things that have to be done. And so what we need to do right now is brush off a dream. And this is the dream company that can help you to have it if you will let the eagle fly. So you need right now to write down at least one dream. This is a pursuit of something that you would love to have and love to do the most. You are putting yourself in the game when you have a dream. So take a minute, write it down, what comes to the top of your mind quickly, and you'll feel it in your heart, and you'll feel maybe a little bit scared for putting it down, but there's no harm in writing down a dream. It's not going to hurt you to write it down. And if you have a dream to latch on to, something that burns inside, you will face fear head on. You will, because the dream is too exciting. And that's what happened for me. Um, I was doing skincare classes within a 2 block radius because that's where I could push my son's wagon with all my cases on it. That's because I had a fear of driving a car. And I, you know, was running out of people, basically, within a 2 block radius. And so when Sonia called me and said, I want you to fly to Dallas to the seminar, first seminar that Canadians are being invited to, I immediately said, oh, I can't afford that. I haven't made any money at this. And she said, put Brian on the phone. She knew who to talk to. So she said to Brian, "Do you want her to continue not to make money at this? She needs to see it to believe it." And she was right. I needed to see it to believe it. And he said, "It's fine. She's going. She's going." So there I went, not knowing anybody, sitting up in the bleachers, 10,000 women, and Mary Kay was speaking, and her speech was about fear. And she told us in the audience that we had to do the thing we feared, not once, but over and over and over until we didn't fear it any longer. And I am bawling my eyes out. I've got a girl from Kentucky next to me who doesn't know me from Adam, handing me Kleenex after Kleenex. And I'm going, she wrote this speech for me. I just know it. Well, the other thing that happened for me was that I caught a dream at that seminar. I saw Mary Kay directors in their suits, and they looked beautiful. And I wanted to be in a Mary Kay director suit, and I wanted to go home and have that happen. And I took Mary Kay's words to heart that I had to do the thing I feared in order to have that dream happen. So, yeah, I went home, asked for the car keys, and said, "I'm going grocery shopping." And Brian nearly fainted. And he said, "I've been with you for 4 years and you wouldn't drive, and you're with them for 4 days and you're going to drive." I said, "Well, I don't know. But if I want to be a director, I have to conquer this." So, yeah, it didn't happen easily. I still got chest pains. I still got pains running down my arms because that's what my anxiety, how it manifested itself. But I pull over, talk to myself, and get back on the road again. So, yeah, it's not easy overcoming a fear. It's not simple. But once I did that, wow, I felt like a giant. And if I can handle that now and feel so at ease behind a car now, the wheels of a car, I can do anything. I just felt I could do anything. So that's why having the dream that excites you so much that'll force you to do those fearful things. And it's day-to-day things. It's little steps every day. It's not one big giant leap. I earned a big Cadillac, a pink Cadillac in 1980. I had conquered driving the car within the city, but I had not conquered it on the highway. And I had people who lived in other cities within a 2 hour radius of me who wanted to see that car because they were part of the unit that earned that car. And I'm going, "Oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to get on that 401 with trucks and everything. But I knew that I'd conquered it in town, so I could conquer it again on the highway. And I did. And my gosh, building my career, I drove a lot of places through a lot of different weather. Yeah. Anyway, so um, let's get the dream. Let's write down what it is that will hold you back from facing the fear and doing it. That's the other thing. You have to, I don't know anyone who's successful who has not had good talks with themselves and not actually recognized, okay, this thing I'm thinking up here is holding me back. This little talk that I'm doing in my head is not good. It's holding me back. And there are things like coach help. There's things like podcasts you can listen to. There's books. I've got, gosh, two huge bookshelves full of positive motivational material that I use not just for myself, but for training my people and steering them in the right direction. And as you teach others, you learn yourself and you grow yourself. So let's start talking straight with ourselves and not being nasty to ourselves. Instead, recognizing what our strengths are, you know? Recognize that you've got a beautiful smile. Smile first at people, you know? Um, Recognize that you care about others and show your caring to your clients. All of these are your unique personality traits that are going to make you successful. And don't say, well, I'm not like her. She's got this and she's got that, but I don't have that, you know? And don't look at your past track record either. Forget that. Today is the first day of the rest of your life, right? And you say that every single day because it is something that you have to tackle every single day. So it's scary to face your fears, yes. And is the change within you worth doing the scary things? Yes, it is. You want to see fabulous change happen to you. You do. I don't care who you are. So you've written down the dream, and then I want you to later on get some old magazines that you have laying around or some new ones that are house beautiful and all of that, all of those things. Cut out the kitchens that you want and the bathroom en suites that you want and how you want your bedroom to look. Da da. Cut out trips that you want to go on with your family or by yourself or whatever. Spa treatments, whatever. Cut them out and stick them in an album. These are all part of dreams. As a director, I taught dream workshops and I never did a dream poster myself. Not until one of my directors said to me, Suzanne, we're teaching this dream workshop and you're going to do your own poster too. So I did. And you know what? I did the poster. I had the schematic for the house I wanted. I had tropical islands and cruise ships. I had Bob Mackie gowns because Cher wore those Bob Mackie gowns. And so did Carol Burnett. I don't, none of you will remember any of that. You're all too young. But these fabulous gowns. And you know what? One day my director said to me when I was a national, Suzanne, where's that poster of yours? Because I think everything on that poster has come true. And I dug it out from behind the office door. And yes, it wasn't Bob Mackie gowns, but they sure looked like them. But just the act of doing it, just the act of getting my thoughts zeroed in on things that would give me joy, give my family joy, just instead of ignoring that and thinking about paying the bills, looking at the fun stuff. That's what would fuel me. The fun stuff fueled me to make money, which paid for the necessities, but also the and then some things. And then the and then some things came for free because of certain things that you do in Mary Kay that you get as gifts along with making the money. You know, people will say to you, oh, that can't be, and that's not true. When you are the first beauty consultant in a city, one of the first 100 in a country, when no one has ever heard of your company, you spend your whole career proving it to people, proving it. Do you know why I had the first pink Cadillac? Because I had neighbors laughing at my flip chart that had a picture of a pink Cadillac. Back then it was salmon pink with the white Landau roof and white leather interior. And they laughed at my first skincare class and said, who'd drive one of those things? And I got mad. I got mad instead of sad. And I said, you're going to see one of those. And yep, I did go over and knock on the neighbor's door and say, would you like to see my new car? Yes, yes. So talk to somebody who's had to prove it a lot. And it can be a driving force to you. If you've got naysayers in your life, just prove it to them, baby. Prove it to them. Just do the job. It's all it is. Just do the job. Okay. Visuals are really important. Then you're going to write down the fears and the roadblocks that are holding you back from the things that you need to do. So, and I want you to say, I'm going to do daily acts of courage, daily acts of courage, little acts of courage to help me influence others. Each of you, as I said, is unique. So I want you to use your unique abilities when you're with people and shine with those abilities. Write down the necessary steps you're going to need to do, and this you may have to do with your director. Um, you need the support of your director to make it happen. I will tell you, your director is marvelous, talented. She knows her stuff, and she's been there before you. And if Mary Kay Ash told me to stand on my head and spit quarters, I would have done it, all right? Because she'd been there before me. And every one of these women that trained me at seminar have been there before me. And they didn't all have an easy road. They told their stories, they told their difficulties. So know your purpose. What is your purpose? And talk to your director. Also, don't ghost your director. Okay? When you're feeling crummy, when you're feeling low, when you're feeling negative, call your director. But try not to dump on her, but try to explain to her how you're feeling so she can lift you up. I had to do that. I had no one else in my city to talk to. I had to call my director in Buffalo. And she'd say, "What's wrong, Suzanne?" "Well, so and so canceled on me, and canceled on me, and canceled on me." And she would talk to me and give me some ideas. So I learned that when I talked to her, I could get moving again. I could step forward again. And I wanted that very badly. So don't closet yourself at home and just say, "No, I'm going to do this little act of courage, and it's calling Julie." Okay, that's what you're going to do. Um, you are going to be leaving a legacy when you do this, and the Mary Kay Company and the positivity all leaves a legacy in your family as well. I just want to touch on that because it influences the people that are closest to you. Your children watch you run a business out of your home. They watch you not win some of the time, and they watch how you react to that, and that you pick yourself up and you go again and try again. And this helps them as they're going through, their team sports and things like that, and things aren't going right. They remember, Mom didn't happen for her, this time, but Mom's still going for her goals and her dreams, right? And I have to tell you that I have two most positive children, and I see this in all of my fellow directors and national sales directors in particular. I listen to their children speak at their retirement, and I'm just blown away by the power of these children. And my son is an artistic director. He works on film and he works on, major projects for things like places like Disney and Universal Studios, things like that. And he manages a team of designers from across the world. And it's his ability with people that is commented on all the time, as well as his skills. So, you know, here's the kid who, when a customer called and I wasn't home and said she needed a foundation, he'd say, "Let me go check Mom's inventory." Okay. And I would hear this from my customers. "Your son was so wonderful. He said my foundation is there." Oh my gosh. And then my daughter, Karina, whom actually I never thought was going to be a Mary Kay director, and that was fine with me. She was going to be a photographer, and she was. And she was a fashion photographer and went to university for that skill. But she grew up in seeing the support of Mary Kay women with Mary Kay women. And she didn't see that in her field. She didn't see mentorship. She saw her field as dog eat dog, people fighting for magazine shoots and things like that, and having to party in order to meet clients. And she didn't want to do that. And she came to a seminar feeling very down. Dad bought her registration and said, you know, you've been a beauty consultant earning some extra money. I want you to come to seminar. And she saw girls her age crossing the stage getting keys to cars. It wasn't her mom, it was people her age. And that changed everything. So, you know, there's stories upon stories how this influences people. My husband passed away in 2023. And when we were going through his desk, Karina said, look, Mom, look at all the notes Dad has taken at seminars. And he had all these positive quotes and all of these things that he'd heard from the stage, a seminar stage, or he'd go into a class with me. And when his best friend spoke at his funeral, he talked about how Brian mentored the younger staff when they came on, and how good he was with them. And I thought, wow, Mary Kay influenced him, and that he took what he learned and used it actually in his job in the computer world. So, yeah, you do not know who you're going to touch and whose life you're going to change. I want to talk about my friend Darlene Ryan Ryu, a National Sales Director Emeritus. And Darlene said I inspired her because I showed up at a Red Jacket retreat as a director with my baby Karina and sat her on the podium while I talked. But she went to Dallas. Back in those days, you became a director after you went down for your director training. So you had 8 people on your team. You paid to go to Dallas. They put you up and fed you. You got trained by Mary Kay. Then you came home and went into qualification. And you had to finish it, and same sort of thing as now. But Darlene was pregnant when she went to Dallas. And she was fearful about this directorship thing and being pregnant and having a baby. And she wanted a big family. And so she spoke to Mary Kay about it. And she said, Mary Kay, do you really think I can do this director thing and have a baby and have a big family? And Mary Kay said to her, dear, the most important thing right now is you're having this beautiful baby. And that's all you need to worry about. This Mary Kay opportunity will be here for you whenever you want it. So if you choose not to do it right now, that's okay. Because bringing a life into the world is far more important than anything else. Well, Darlene, she went home flying. And Mary Kay just saying that made her want to finish it. Darlene had 5 children. And Darlene, how smart she was, consummate businesswoman, she hired a Filipino nanny, put an addition on her house, had the nanny live with them, and the nanny became like a grandma to her children, helping her with the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, everything, right? Well, when the Philippines opened, she went to the Philippines with her nanny, Sarida. And Sarida showed her all the money that Sarida had made and sent back home, the roofs on the houses that she had put roofs on, the wells that had been dug for fresh water, thanks to the money Sarida had made from her Mary Kay employer. And Darlene went, wow, I never knew this was happening. I had no idea the money I was paying Sarida was affecting across the world. You just do not know what this opportunity is doing when you latch onto it and you follow your plan, your goals. You're affecting lives everywhere. So I thought I would just share that because for me, that was a really interesting thing to happen, a legacy being left in another part of the world. So it's not always easy. I'm telling you, no, it's not always easy. And when Brian passed, he left me a note. He left me a lot of notes, but this particular note talked about my Mary Kay career. And he said, it was not easy for you, but you embraced all of it. The good, the bad, every bit of it, you embraced it and ran with it because you basically just loved what you were doing. So I want you to think about that too. I want you to get in touch with what brought you into Mary Kay. Was it the making a woman look beautiful at the table? Always keep those things in mind, that what are the core things that you love about this business, that even when you're going through a difficult patch, that is still there. That thing that drew you to this opportunity is still there. There are some changes coming. There are some changes coming pretty soon to the Mary Kay way of doing things. And everything is just going to explode when it happens. And I think it's July 1st. It's, you know, um, in Canada, things may be different than what it is in the US, but I think everybody across the board, it's going to happen. And you have to control your mind talk with all of that. Okay. Through COVID, when we were in COVID, the people who embraced being on Zoom, who embraced doing things a little bit differently, had that additional skill. And when COVID was over, they still have that skill. And they still can do things in person if they want, but they also have this. And now Ryan Rogers is the man for the time. Ryan Rogers is leading us into the Mary Kay future. And this added business that's going to happen for you, it's not going to muck about with what you love to do. That will still be there if if your customers want that. But there's a certain number of customers that are going to come on, that are going to embrace this new way, that you're going to be as an addition to your business, not a replacement, but an addition. So control your mind talk. Say that you can do it, that this is great. This is going to blow your business sky high. Okay. You cannot control everything that will come your way in life, but you can choose how to react to it. You can learn acceptance. You can let go of judgment. You can learn lessons. Hi, honey. Does someone need anything there? You okay? Okay. You can learn the lessons that will help you to grow and you to evolve. The topic, excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat. I'm on the end of a cold. The topic for me today was race to the finish. And so why did I spend time talking about a dream? We need to have something to race towards. Okay? You can't race towards anything. You need an end game. And okay, if everything hasn't been going great for you all year, you can still make something happen for you in June that will make you grow, that will make you feel proud of yourself and step up and start creating a skill of consistency, a skill of doing managing your time better, skills that you will need that in the new year, starting July 1st, you'll be on the road racing for in the new seminar year, and you'll start with a new habit structure. And so that's what I'd like you to think about. You know what? The company has already set a goal for you. We've got these fabulous new foundations. Okay. They have challenged you to testing on 30 faces and selling 10 at least foundations. Now, I'm going to tell you that you got to grab this and run with it. My daughter was doing this before the company contest. She'd set a challenge of 100 faces for herself personally because she looked at the chart and she was a little bit confused. And though she's experienced, she said, I've got to learn how to handle these shades. How am I going to do that? I have to try it on people. And so she was rolling down her window at track meets, and talking to the mother in the car next to her saying, "Can I borrow your face?" She's sitting in the bleachers at a basketball game while her daughter's playing, and she's saying to the women next to her, "I need to borrow your face. I want to be an expert and a pro with our new foundations, and I can't do it unless I try it on. And I've challenged myself to 100 people, and would you help me out by just letting me match you with a foundation? And it's not necessary. If you don't want to buy anything, that's fine. It's fine. I just have to do this to become proficient and to become an expert at our new foundations." And that's how she's doing it. And she said it's been so fun. And the reactions of people have been wonderful. She couldn't believe how supportive these women were. So, get out of your mind that nobody will talk to you and that just be straight up and be honest with them. And, you know, uh, if you start doing this particular thing and create a habit of it, this is going to carry forward for you in July as well. So, some of you also have other challenges that you've set up for yourself in June, and one of them would be your star. Okay. You guys finish your star on the 15th of June, I believe, but you need to race to the end of June because of what court you're going to be in Julie's courts. And I suggest that if you can stretch yourself to the next court level, that would be a great win for you. I don't know what your numbers are, but you can talk to Julie about it. But to do your star is only $300 a week in sales. Really? You know, that's what it was when I started in the business. Honestly, 300 and the skincare was $32 then. The basic skincare was $32 when I started. Yeah, and I was having $500 classes. So, you know, it's time to step up and refine how you're doing your business. Make a decision. Do I want to sell more skincare sets? How will I perfect that presentation so that I am? And I will promise you that you'll be a star consultant every quarter just on the reorder business on skincare. If you build a good, strong customer base of skincare users. So my offspring directors were people who were star consultants. There was not one of them that didn't demand from herself that she at least do sapphire. And most of them wanted to be on stage for the Court of Sales. So they were doing more like diamond and pearl. So I had a 92-year-old offspring director who had 150 stars on her ladder, and they were all diamonds because she did not want anything less. Okay? So don't give yourself excuses. I look at stories like that and I cannot excuse myself. So, but you have to be excited about something. There we're back to that dream. Okay? We're back to that dream. Take a look at things that you're going to get from that STAR program. What's in those STAR points? Are there credit cards in there that you can earn and spend on things for your house or your family? I don't know what's in your program, but I've seen consultants outfit their entire kitchen with fancy, expensive appliances that are like 200 a pop or whatever, and it's all through the STAR program. So take a look at that. You're not just making the profit, but you're getting the prizes as well. So recognize that little devil voice that mocks you and points out your limitations. And I want you to sock it right in the nose every time it starts talking to you. Okay? There are lessons to be learned. That's all it is. What are the lessons that will form the strong, soaring eagle in you? Embrace the lessons. A positive attitude says, I'm a courageous person and nothing will defeat me. I will find a way over, under, around, and through any obstacle. Only you can decide how strong you desire to grow and to meet goals and to tap into the greatness in you. You only convince yourself by doing it, achieving, being proud of yourself for tackling things on a day-to-day level. Don't work just 1 week out of 4. It's day-to-day little steps. Ask yourself, what will achieving these day-to-day goals mean to me? What will they do for me? For me to overcome my anxiety attacks behind the wheel of a car, it came down to just grabbing the car keys and doing it, getting on the 401 and doing it. No GPS except for my husband. He was my GPS. No cell phones, okay? So I know it's not going to happen for you overnight, but there's going to be so much joy in the journey. Excuse me. The thing to always remember is in Mary Kay is that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. I've always said to people that the golden rule is in the structure of the marketing plan. You cannot become successful in Mary Kay unless you help other people become successful first. That is the Mary Kay marketing plan. So, you're a director, take her by the hand, share your fears. Let her support you when you're down. I can't repeat that more than anything. It really is important. Um, decide what kind of life you want to create. What kind of legacy do I want to leave? What kind of woman do I want to unlock within me? Keep having a dream and use Mary Kay Business to make the dream come true. On a daily basis in your daily life, take time to work. It's the price of success. Take time to think. It's the source of your power. Take time to play. It's the secret of perpetual youth. Take time to read. It's the fountain of wisdom. Take time to be friendly. It's the road to happiness. Take time to love and be loved. It is the nourishment for your soul. Take time to share. It's too short a life to be selfish. Take time to laugh. It's the music of the heart. Take time to dream. It's hitching your wagon to a star. Always remember what drew you to your business. Remember how you love this product, this company, and your sisterhood. And be a giving spirit of your time and expertise. The more lives you touch, the more of an eagle you will be. So thank you for having me, and please let me know if I've touched you in some way. Thank you.
Oh, Suzanne, I have like 2 pages of notes, as always. I'm a big note taker. She knows that.
I know that.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Suzanne, so much. I would love to hear from anybody, what nuggets, what things stood out to you that Suzanne shared that grabbed your attention, grabbed your heart. I see that Jess wrote in the comments, be courageous and say to myself, I can conquer anything. So yes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is good, Jess.
I'd like to know
And
if anybody has written down a dream that they want to have happen for.
mm-hmm. Terry, did you want to share?
Yeah, thank you so much, Suzanne. This was really great. Really great. And just what I needed.
Good, good.
I needed. I liked what you had said about the to do little daily acts of courage.
Mhm.
Take that step. I think that's great. I especially loved and could not write down because I was listening, but I'm going to listen to the recording and write it down because I want
Okay.
to put that on my desk. But the last, I don't know if it was a poem or if it was something that you wrote,
It
but
just, yeah, just things
take
that
time. They,
yeah.
I love all of those, and they are such good things to remember and
Mhm.
to try and do.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I think that's very inspiring. And thank you for that. And
You're
I will say my dream that I wrote down, which is I really want to have the freedom to travel the way I want to travel, wherever that may be. It's
yeah.
various different things with various different people, but I just want to be free to be able to travel
Uh-huh.
to those points.
Well, you know, decide on how many trips a year you want to take and what the cost of that is and what you would need to earn. And it's different, what you would need to do as a consultant versus what you would need to do as a director, you know. But you can decide. All that is your decision, you know, how you want to tackle that. Because I have friends in Mary Kay who are consultants who travel a lot, and that's, you know, what they do their court of sales for year after year. And I also have friends who are directors who do that. And as well, nationals usually have the funds. Yeah.
Okay, we're working on it. That's awesome. Thank you, Terry, for sharing.
Thank you, Terry. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So,
Suzanne, thank you so much for tonight. Also, Elizabeth put in the chat that her dream is to travel with her family. So
oh,
I think
good.
travel is a big key theme.
Hmm.
I know for me, that's what things that popped into my head was I want to travel to Europe.
Hmm.
I've been to a lot of airports in Europe, but I've never been
Hmm.
outside the airports. um,
Oh, okay. Okay.
um, so yes.
Yes. Okay. Maybe a river cruise in Europe.
Yes.
Well, I know
That would be awesome.
my first dream for the family was I would pay for Disney World. And I did that like 4 or 5 times, paid for family trips to Disney. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you know, yeah,
Yep.
those are all great things to really work for. And I feel as women, we like the luxury things. We know we have to pay the bills, but it's the luxury things that make us work our butt off to have. So, you know, you first
Mhm.
know how much you've got to earn to pay whatever bill you're going to pay, but then the and then some. How am I going to get the and then some? Am I going to get it through team building? How am I going to get that and then some? So think
Mhm. Mhm.
of that
Mhm.
as well. But
Yeah.
anyway, I could go on forever, Julie. You know that. So I better walk out of here. You
I
Well,
just wanted to
thank you
say
so
real
much.
quick.
Oh,
Oh, go
go ahead,
ahead.
Jess.
I just want
hi.
to say my dream is to buy a house, like
Oh,
a really nice house and stuff.
mm-hmm,
And so mine was a little different than travel. Travel is I mean, I do like to travel within the state type of thing, but I'm with you on the whole like fear of like driving sometimes. So
mm-hmm.
like you encourage me, like I do
Good.
drive around town, but like I've always been afraid to drive a farther than an hour and stuff. So
Yes,
yeah.
I
Mhm.
know. I know. It's do whatever it takes to get to that step, okay? Um, and
Mhm.
having somebody in the car with you who's not a nervous Nelly and and will encourage you, you know, when you're driving. But you need to find out what kind of house you want. You need to find out what the real estate market is on that kind of a house and the mortgage and all of that stuff. And because you need the numbers in order
Mhm.
to figure out the numbers that you need to earn to make your monthly payments or whatever it is you need. So
Mhm.
get all your facts in a row, okay? And
Mhm.
you can then break it down into bite-sized pieces. When you look at the whole thing, you go, oh my God, I could never do that. But then you break it down into bite-sized pieces and you say, oh,
Mhm.
I can do that. If I did a
Mhm.
face a day, if I did a face a day every week, you know, or
Mhm.
I did 6 people at one time, and that's
Mhm.
all I had time for. But I was going to do 6 faces, but at one time. You can work it any way you want to work it, and Julie will help you with that. She can
Mhm.
help you set a program for yourself. But you
Mhm.
have to treat it like a business, not a hobby.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Consist Anything worthwhile is worth working for. And I learned that at the
Mhm.
feet of my parents. They were entrepreneurs. They had 2 businesses. And I grew up above the business. Like we had an apartment above both businesses. I watched them work from 7 in the morning till midnight. And
Mhm.
I watched them love on people. And people loved them. So, you know, I grew up watching that. That was my education
Mhm.
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Definitely.
You can't be
Yeah.
afraid of work. But work is fun in Mary Kay. Why does
Yeah.
work have to be a dirty word? You know,
Exactly.
work is
Oh,
fun
yeah.
in Mary Kay.
It is. Yes,
Anyhow,
it
Julie.
is.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm.
Exactly.
Okay.
All
I
right,
Thank you so
Suzanne.
much,
have a great
Suzanne.
rest of your meeting. Mwah.
Mm.
I
Ah,
wish the best for you. Have a great June.
Thank
thank you.
you so
Thank you.
much.
Bye.
Oh, she's so fabulous, isn't she? Oh my goodness. Um, okay. I know there's again, we got lots of stuff swirling in our head. I want to just kind of quickly run through some of the nitty-gritty details. But first, we're gonna do our first drawing right now, you guys. So in the month of June, we are going to be having lots of fun drawings. And I've got a whole prize chart. We've got 100 envelopes with prizes. So we're gonna actually do this right now because you girls are on here live. So guess what? We're gonna do our first one. So here we go. Oh, Terry. All right, Terry. All right, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up for you. Okay, let me share my screen with the next document because you get to pick an envelope. So I want to know, you get to pick an envelope 1 to 100. Can you see this?
Oh my, yes.
Okay. So pick pick an envelope and I'm going to reveal to you what your prize is.
Are some of those envelopes X'd out?
No. Um it's just because the image was like the shape of the envelope. So you're the first person. You pick one to 100, whatever number you want. Some of the prizes are small and some of them are big. So pick a prize.
I'm gonna pick 33 because that is how many years we have been married next month.
Woo. Mhm.
Okay, let's find
Congrats.
out what I don't have all this memorized to remember, so I'm like, okay, what's going to be 33? Beauty Bucks cards. Okay, so I got from one of our vendors some like beauty bucks that you can give either to your customers or you can hand them out for like freebies to different people at like a raffle table, a vendor table. So it's a really great business aid. I know that might not sound very exciting right now, so I want you to pick another number.
Okay. Well,
Why not? Let's go. Pick another number, Terry. You won the drawing.
I'll go with 66.
All right, we're gonna give 2 prizes tonight. Christmas gift tags. I know you're laughing. So there's a bunch of pink holiday gift tags for, your open house. So I'm helping you get ready for that, or you could do a Christmas in July. So those are your 2 prizes. So super exciting. I know you're like, all the prizes are different. So congratulations, Terry, for being on here tonight. And I'm going to pull up our little PowerPoint, and I'm going to kind of jump ahead actually to what we're doing in June so that you guys can kind of understand what the heck was this all about. So in June, for all of these different activities, you're going to get to pick an envelope. And on the bottom of the screen here, you're going to see these are some of the prizes that are hidden under those envelopes. Okay. So you're going to get to choose an envelope for every $100 wholesale that you order. Every guest who comes onto Facebook Live and they comment, you get to pick an envelope. Every person you have at an in-person event, every facial, every makeup session on the go, if you mail samples to somebody, if you are at work and you're like, oh my gosh, girlfriend, come sample satin hands, you're going to get to pick an envelope. Okay. Basically, you get to pick an envelope for every single thing you're going to do in your business. Sharing a coffee appointment. So if you meet with someone to talk about the business, or if somebody watches our Google link, okay, and they watch the video, which again, it's 6 minutes long. They don't have to talk to anybody. They just watch it, fill out the little form. You're going to get to pick an envelope. Okay. So you should be having lots of prizes this month. I'm just telling you right now. If you register for seminar, you're going to get to pick an envelope. And when you are a fourth quarter star, you're going to get to choose 4 envelopes. Okay. And if we need more envelopes, I will make more envelopes. So if we blow through 100, we'll make more. Okay. Just like Mary Kay Bingo, right? If you eat all the M&Ms, we're going to give you more. It's the same thing. Okay. So some of the prizes, can you guys see down here? So some of them are business aids, but then some of them are jewelry. We actually do have a personalized beach towel. We have packing cubes. We have Starbucks gift cards, cash, this really adorable sparkly apron that says "Hello, gorgeous." It's so adorable.
Love that.
You could wear it like for your own cooking,
on.
or you could actually wear it to your Mary Kay parties if you want. Cute little earrings. We've got car coasters, a Mary Kay water bottle, satin pillowcases, a Bluetooth speaker, which it looks like a retro radio. Okay. We have jewelry, a beautiful queen bee makeup bag, and so many more things. I could not put all the things on this graphic. Okay. So every single thing is going to be an envelope. All right. Who's excited? I'm excited. And I'm not even winning. So all those envelopes, and again, if we need more, we will get more. Okay. Any questions about the envelopes? It's been a few years since we've done an envelope thing. So I thought, we need some excitement for June, the last month of our seminar year. Anybody have any questions? We're all good? Okay.
Julie, we
Awesome.
just text you.
Yes. So whatever you've done, obviously I'll see orders, or I'll see when people go live, like when they comment on our live Facebook events, which all of those are in the beauty cafe. But yes, if you have an appointment, you could just text me their name, the date, what did you do? Okay. That would be awesome. I'm not making any fancy tracking sheet. As long as you communicate with me, we're going to get to pick an envelope. So awesome. Yep. So just pull out a piece of paper. You could even just have like a tracking sheet and a notebook paper, or on your calendar, and then send me a picture of your calendar or a screenshot, whatever you need to do. Yep. Awesome. Okay. So that is one of our big things for June. So we're going to go backwards on our slides. Okay. So hopefully you saw that right now in the month of June, Mary Kay has 60% off of some of these skincare boosters. So this picture represents all the items that you can get 60% off versus 50% off, right? Or 30% off, depending on your status, your active status. This is not meant to be something that you pass along to your customers, although it's totally up to you if you choose to do that. But this picture, these graphics are not for customers, okay? So new consultants, when you see this, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so that you have more profit in your pocket, okay? So that's what Mary Kay's doing this, is they want us to be able to buy more items at a cheaper price and have more profit. So of course, we're still getting all of our retail credit. And so this is going to boost us obviously for Court of Sales and all of our year-end contests. Okay. So all of these are on Mary Kay In Touch. Again, you can decide if you want to have some kind of a customer special, but this is meant to be more profit in your pocket. Okay. And these are all separate items. You don't have to buy anything as a bundle. These are all separate items. And you can purchase up to 13 of each one of these at that 60% off discount. Okay. I will tell you right now, I'm stocking for sure 13 eye creams. I sell this repair eye cream like nobody's business. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that one. So stock up at the cheaper price, think like a retailer, think long term. Okay. And then for our events, we're just going backwards on the slides. Hope you guys can handle it. In June, we are going to be doing our glamour
Julie, I have a quick
night.
question.
Yep, go ahead.
Are they also doing the all the skincare at 60%
Nope.
off this June?
Nope. Nothing, no other sets. It's just those separate items. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So for events, obviously our huddle, and then we have glamour on Monday nights in our Facebook group. That's going to be next week, the 8th, the 22nd, and the 29th. And then we are having some in-person events, one up here in West Bend and then one in Elk Grove Village in Illinois. And this is a Mary Kay purse bingo. We'll tell you all the details more coming up, but just know that we're going to be giving away purses as prizes. We're doing these events with Ramika. And so anyone is allowed to come and play yourself. And then also, of course, bring guests. We will have all of the new summer products on display for people to sample. It will be sharing the Mary Kay business opportunity, but it's also formatted very differently than if you've been to a traditional Mary Kay bingo with the M&Ms. They actually are playing on real bingo cards and we're calling numbers. So it is going to feel like a more traditional bingo event. And then in between pulling numbers, we will have some little commercials for products. But they're going to be winning purses. So Micah and I will provide all those prizes. But there's going to be one up here in Wisconsin and then one in Illinois. Okay. So we'll help you kind of, again, your guests are going to have to register. We have a QR code, which takes them to a Google link, just so we know the kind of numbers of what to expect for numbers. We are also doing a lot of advertising on social media. So we're hoping to get strangers to these events. Not just our regular customers, but we are hoping to really branch out and have some, new to us people come to these events. They are free, and both of them, the Wisconsin and Elk Grove Village, are at restaurants. So people can come early and order food if they want, get drinks if they want. But then we are providing the program at that location. Okay. Questions about that?
Are they like the one in West Bend? Is that going to be on Zoom or anything, or that if I can't go to West Bend, I can't be in that?
Right. So
Okay.
the June
Okay.
15th, yes, that's just going to be live in person at that restaurant.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That sounds
Mm-hmm. Now, if you have friends and family in these locations, you can send people and get credit for them. So like I know, for instance, Terry, you have a niece up in Wisconsin. I can't remember exactly where, but if she were local, you could send her.
How far are you from Lake Geneva?
About an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay. Thanks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so just like any other events, you guys can send people, even like the Facebook Lives, even if you can't be live on a Monday night, always watch the replay. People can comment replay and then get credit. You can get credit for that too. So yeah. Awesome. And so recognition. So in May, we had 9 Charm Achievers. So Cheryl, Julie, Joanne, Kristen, Tiffany, Kristen, Cynthia, Terry, and Kelly. So congratulations to our Charm Achievers. Some of these gals have earned every single charm this year. So that is phenomenal. I think Terry's one of them. So you should be jingling and jangling all over the place. So that is awesome. Way to go, girlfriend. And then our last charm for June is actually a silver lighthouse. So isn't that so?
I love that.
Which of course, the lighthouse is our powerhouse logo. If you didn't know that, hopefully you've been seeing that on stuff, but super fun. So congratulations. And how many of us are going to be Charm Achievers in June, right? How many are we going to have? Awesome, awesome. And then our big, year-end courts are coming. We've got a trip to Door County for this summer, the girls' trip. And so congratulations to Terry O'Day. Oh my gosh. She has over 14,000 in retail production. And I know her goal is to get her hotel paid for. So she's shooting for that Star Court 17,000. Tiffany is super close to the Powerhouse Court of 12,000. And Cynthia and Tabby have both earned their trips. So congratulations, ladies. There are other prizes in those categories too. Of course, attendance is not required, but it is way more fun. And so we're going to Door County, and then we've got a couple gals, 3 ladies who are super close to finishing it up. Elizabeth, you only need $85 wholesale to earn your ticket.
I'll be there.
Okay, girlfriend. So Elizabeth, Kelly Johnson, and Bailey are super close, so they are on target. And for those of you who are new consultants, or maybe you're at 0, guess what? You can get on target really fast. So if you are someone who's like, I don't have a whole lot in, or maybe even a brand new consultant, right? Could get this done because 6,000 retail is 3,000 wholesale, right? So even though these courts are in the retail numbers, think about in terms of what we're ordering and how you can get there, especially when the company gives us 60% off items, right? Because we're going by retail. So you could actually be spending less money and making more towards your court. Does that make sense? I know for my non-math brain, it takes me a moment to catch up. So Elizabeth is a math teacher. If you need help with math, she can help us make sure our numbers are right. And I'm super excited for this trip to Door County. Once we kind of wrap things up and as we start to know who all is going to be achieving this trip, we will start talking about dates. Okay. So, because of course we want the gals who have earned the trip to be able to attend, the most of them. So we'll talk about dates. Nothing has been solidified because of course we want as many people to come as possible. So, yeah, so super exciting. Lots of stuff happening in June. Anyone have any questions on any of this detail stuff?
Yeah. How much do you need to sell to earn a ticket to Door County again? And what's the due date?
So great question. So 3,000 wholesale. So I can look at your numbers because you're not at 0, Jess.
No, for
So
sure.
we can kind of talk through your numbers. And the deadline is June 30th.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So this is our last month of the fiscal year for Mary Kay. So everything kind of wraps up June 30th for this year's contests. Yep. Awesome. All right, girls. Well, thank you for being a part of our June meeting. I know there's a lot happening, lots of details. I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight and turn off the recording, but if you want to stay on and talk more, we can certainly do that. Thank you again for those of you who were here live. I really do appreciate you. And we're going to wrap up an awesome seminar year. So thanks, gals.